Hi everyone, and welcome to this quick introduction on how to export a final draft screenplay right into Adobe After Effects using the script Storyboarding. So, first of all, we are inside Final Draft. We've just put the final touch to our wonderful screenplay, and we want to create a rough cut to help storyboarders start working on it. So, I could easily go to time by end all the scenes for him and do stuff like that, but it would be kind of painful to that. So first of all, I'm going to save my script file, save as the lost party.fdx. That's the name of my screenplay. Then I'm going to download the storyboarding script for Adobe After Effects, and once you get that, we can go right into Adobe After Effects. Well, I'm going to keep this page for now. Right inside After Effects, I need first to create a composition to give me all the information I need regarding the format of my final video. I'm clicking here the new composition button. I'm going to select the HDTV 1080 24 frame per second, so it creates me a composition with the width and height of 1920 by 1080, which is the resolution of HDTV. I'm selecting a pixel aspect ratio of square pixels and a frame rate on 24 frame per second, but I could go on any frame rate and any resolution. It really depends on what you want to do with this. I don't care about the duration, and I'm going to name my composition something like master for my master composition. Okay, so now I've got this empty composition right inside After Effects. I've got nothing in there, and that is going to define the output format of our movie. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to open the storyboarding script. I go to File, Script, Run Script File, and I'm going to select Adobe JavaScript binary file or JSX bin, and I'm going to select the storyboarding version 1.3.gs6 bin. If it's the first time you are using the storyboarding script, you will have a registration notice, so you can either put it in trial mode or register it if you want a license. And here I've got some option. By default, it selected my master composition as a master composition. If I have several compositions, I can use this drop down menu here to select the composition I want to use. But I've got my composition already, so this part is set up. I don't need to load settings. That's for an advanced use, and you can see how to do that by having a look at my other video, which is called Overview of Storyboarding version 1.3, and it explains everything about the settings, what you can change and what you cannot change. Now let's focus on what we want to do here. It's importing a final draft script right into After Effects. So I click on the Import Screenplay button. By default, it's going to try to open an ASTX file, which is Adobe Story screenplay format. But I can click here and select Final Draft X, which is the format for Final Draft version 8, I guess. Here I've got the lost party.fdx that I've saved earlier. I'm going to click OK, and the script is going to open it for me. Now that my screenplay has properly been imported, I click OK, and I can have a look right here at all what it created me. First thing I noticed is this master, the lost party. If I double click on it, I discover that a lot of layers have appeared and that it doesn't last 10 seconds anymore. It's more than around 15 minutes. And I can see here that all my scenes seem to have been imported properly with different timing, and I've got some informations here. First, this number. This number is the number of characters detected in this scene. It's the number of talking characters. You can see here I've got 2 characters, and I'm going to come back about this later. And if I go to this scene, I can see that I've got only 1 character, which is Emily. Now, if I have a look here at my new folders, I can see that I've got 4 new folders, but only 3 are going to interest us. The first is the character folder. It's where I've got a composition for each of my character, and to be more precise, for each of my speaking character. And you can notice here in the label section that each one of them have a different color. Then I've got my location, which are here, all my location, and you can see that I've got not very much location on this short movie project. And then here I've got my scenes. So I'm going to just close this panel and open a bit bigger this one, and you can see all my scenes with the correct number, scene number in front of it, and the name, the information of interior or exterior, and the name of the location. So let's go back now to this scene where I've got 2 characters speaking to see what all of this is about. First of all, I've got background layer here, which is called cab, and it's my cab location. I can drag and drop here a footage of my cab, and it will be imported in all the cab scenes, which is just 1 for now. I could go to flat living room, for example, this scene, and I'm going to show you if I open the int Emily flat living room in Paris, and I import some data. I'm going to go there on Scriptboarding, data Emily living room, and click on import. You see that if I drag and drop right inside my Emily living room flat in Paris, you can see first that I'm sucking at drawing. It's not my my major point, you know, I'm better at writing than drawing, but let's imagine that it's a living room, and if I go here and move my time indicator on other scenes that are taking place right inside my living room, you'll see that it updated all the scenes that are taking place in Emily's flat living room. This is because all the location, the scenes taking place in that location have been updated, because this is the location imported in every scenes that have this location. So that's a real time saver. And speaking of time savers, I've got other option. Here I've got my action layer, and what we have there is all the action paragraphs that are in my scene. And let's go back to the cab scene, and yes, it's there. And you can see that we've got timely put every paragraph that we have in this scene. If I go back to final draft, and it's my cab scene, so it's my third scene, and you can see here Emily slowly turns away from the window. And if I go back to After Effects, Emily slowly turns her head away from the window, and everything like that. And we've got also all the dialogues from Emily and the taxi driver. If you open the marker or put your mouse right on the marker, you will see that we've got the full dialogue here. And you'll notice that there is a duration, because the script is calculating all the duration. You can see here on the little bars the estimated length of all the dialogue. So that's a huge time saver, because you have the dialogue here and you have its estimated duration. It really helps you have a sense of length and how things are going. And also here you can see you've got a first dialogue, then some exposition, and then a group of dialogue, then some more exposition and stuff like that. It really gives you a sense of pace of your scene and of your entire screenplay, and you can really start to iterate quite quickly to find any problems in the rough cut that it created for you. And you can see, if I go back to final draft here, that the scene starts with Emily slowly turns her head away from the window. But if I go to my scene, you can see that this is only 1 second after the beginning. And I tell you why. If we go back there and we zoom in, you can see that we've got a margin here of 1 second. To help you better time and adjust your cuts, I've added 1 second of in and out margins. So this is taken into account where when I time inside a scene the position of all the dialogues and the action. So it might look like it's not from the beginning, but in fact it's from the beginning. It's just that I've got my security warning here, security margin, sorry, here, that help us adjust the editing on the way. So that's about it. As you can see, it's quite straightforward. It creates all the scenes for you. It creates all the basic stuff. You just need to drag and drop your assets right into the location compositions and your character composition. Of course, if I go back there, you can notice that there is a camera, and if I switch to my toggles, you can see that all here my layers are already in 3D. So if I need to create a rough animatic to give a sense of how the movie is going to be shot, it's really very fast to start to iterate on this. This is how you import final draft screenplay right into After Effects using the storyboarding script that you can get at ascript.com/story-boarding/. If you are not using Final Draft, if you are using, let's minimize this, if you are using Adobe Story or Fade In, which are very good screenplay editors too, you can export to the Final Draft format. In Fade In, just go to File, Export, Final Draft. And if you are in Story, just go to File, Export, Final Draft. You can also export to Adobe Story Interchange format .astx, which is what the script in After Effects try to read by default, but you have fewer options than if you export it to Final Draft 8 document. So that's all for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any question, feel free to comment below. If you want to know more about the project which is behind this script, let me open it again. GSX bin storyboarding. If you want to know all the story behind storyboarding, it's because I'm building tools for my homemade animation movie. You can learn more at mytho.mn, mytho.mn. Hey, maybe I can even open right here. So if my accent doesn't allow you to understand what I say, it's mytho.mn, which is my my movie project, for which I developed all these cool scripts and all these cool time savers, so go have a look. Don't forget to check my other scripts on asscript.com, and if you want new features for this script, you can drop me a mail on Twitter. Well, that doesn't make sense to drop a mail on Twitter, so drop me a mail on my yenafi@gmail.com, yenaphe@gmail.com, or you can tweet me on Twitter. That's much better. Tweet me on Twitter at yenaphe, yenaphe, and I'll be glad to answer all your questions and add as much feature as I can right into storyboarding. If you want to know how to change how the timing calculation are done, you can go to my channel on YouTube and find the overview of storyboarding version 1.3, where I go much into detail of what the load settings does and how you can change all these options of timing calculation. So once again, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Bye.